Hi guys, Tracy here with my next installment of Project Life. This is where I left off, which is the end of July. And so now I'm going to go through the first half of August. And I'm not keeping track of Project Life day by day. I'm just kind of throwing it all in there. This is early August, and then this is just an insert for early August, and then this is mid-August, and that's the insert for mid-August, and that's the rest of it. And so when I get to this page, I'll be doing late August, and that'll be these last 2 weeks. And it doesn't go day by day at all, and some of it is mixed up, and I don't really care. I just want to get it all kind of done. I'm falling behind more than I ever have before, so I'm trying to come up with solutions that'll work for me. So I'm going to show you, like I always do, just kind of cell by cell. So this is my title card for early August, and it says "Staying Cool in Early August." These are Glitz Designs stickers. This is a Shoreline collection from American Crafts, one of the stickers from that, and that's just a little tiny part of another sticker I use somewhere else, and I use the rest of it there. These are Glitz, did I say that already? These are Glitz Designs, and I love the neon pink. I've had these in my stash forever, and when I first got them, neon wasn't in very much, and so I was kind of like, whoa, I don't know how I'm ever going to use those. I had no idea that neon would eventually be really popular, and so now here it is, probably 2 years later, and they're really cool. So just goes to show that sometimes you gotta stick with something and it comes around again. That they came in a Scarlet Lime kit ages ago. Then the stamps I used for early are just these. They're from the dollar store. I think they're Studio G, and they just come in a little box. And that's what they look like. I just keep them in this. So August was cut with my Cameo, and I really love how it turned out. And then the whole background is a index card that Kate sent me. She sent me a whole stack of them. I love them, and they're hard to find here in Canada, maybe impossible. And I just splattered the background with these two colors of tumble dye, which I also got from Kate. So thanks, Kate. I love how this looks. And just like I did in July, where I used kind of like, I did the same title pages, like for early July and later July. It's called July in a Nutshell, and then Even More July. I did the same thing for August, where I just cut 2 of these, and I did early August and mid-August, and now I'm gonna have to cut a third one because I didn't end up getting all of August into two spreads. So more Shoreline collection stickers down here. This is just a little snippet from the border and a little flower sticker there. Then this cell here is all about our kids on our computers. They don't have their own computers or anything, but Scott and I each have a laptop, and so sometimes we let the kids set up and do their educational games and stuff on our laptops, and this is them in our dining room. And so I just used more of those Glitz Design stickers to spell out pbskids.org, and then I used my favorite sassafras stickers to write out cbckids.ca. Those are the 2 websites that they go to. This is a Becky Higgins title card, but I'm not using it for a title, so I just ran a strip of washi tape down where they leave space for the title. And then I just did some journaling about, you know, how when it's hot outside, it's okay to play on the computer. I used some Heidi Swapp washi tape that Michelle sent me on the top and bottom of the picture. And that's it for that one. Oh, I should also mention that this is a Design C page protector. So it's got the 6 4x6 photos, pockets in it instead of one of the other ones. So this is another Becky Higgins card from the Clementine collection, and it's one of the ones that is supposed to be folded in half and used for journaling, but I just use them straight most of the time. And my favorite drink is stamped with Stampin' Up! Ink in Melon Mambo and what is that color? I think it's Island Indigo. Yeah, Island Indigo. And I used my new stamp set from Studio Calico. So my favorite, and then drink. And then I just have an Instagram photo here of my iced mocha before it was stirred. I wanted to kind of accentuate the fact that there's all this yummy syrup in the bottom because Scott actually makes that syrup from scratch. So I wanted to kind of show it before it was all stirred in. And I have a couple of pieces of washi tape along the bottom here, actually 3. So the yellow and then these green with hearts, they're really cute. And then that striped one that came in the Studio Calico kit last month. And then this is an L Studio little cut apart tag thingy. So that's that. And this is, let me get a ruler. It's 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So I print my Instagrams. My Instagram photos, I get a lot of questions about this. My Instagram photos that I've been printing lately, I just print them depending on what I want to do with them. I print them at either 3.5 by 3.5 or 3.25, or sorry, 3 3/4. My main sizes are 3.5, 3 3/4, and 4. And so those are the main size. I will sometimes print them in 2 by 2s, but they tend to be really tiny that way. So if I want them on a 3 by, no, I don't think I ever print them on 2 by 2s because they're just too tiny. I can't think of a time that I did that. But anyways, and in iPhoto you can just choose what size you want to print things at, and that's what I do. So this is the next cell, and it's again on another Becky Higgins title card, which I really like to use for these backgrounds because it's just simple, right? And I just wrote my title there in marker and my subtitle in a thinner marker. This is a jelly bean soup label sticker, and this is a label that Ileana sent me. She sent me this really cute little package, and I think she made this tin, or covered the tin with your tweet, and inside are all kinds of labels. They're not stickers, they're just labels that I can stick on things, which I actually prefer. And they're made out of really nice thick cardstock, and they're stamped. I think she said they were paper tray ink stamps, but they're stamped using my favorite Gumball Green ink, which I love, love, love from Stampin' Up. So I have one of those right here, and then this is one of, where did those go? One of these from L Studio. I just got a bunch of these circle things. I was just looking for something that wasn't rectangles and squares. Like, just so much of my stuff I find is rectangles and squares, so I ordered a couple of cloud and circle shaped embellishments just to mix it up a little bit. And then I just stuck the photo there. And then this is the last cells on that page. This one is another one of those foldable Becky Higgins cards from the Clementine collection. It says Everyday Life across the bottom in like a watermark. And then I just used my Smash date stamp that says Oh Snap, because it was about some car trouble that we had that night. And then that's just a picture of my husband and my brother-in-law with the wheel off the car in their driveway. We were actually traveling away from home, and it was a little stressful, the idea of not being being trapped away from home and not being able to go home. Even though like my sister-in-law and brother-in-law were going to let us stay at their house, like it wasn't going to be a problem at all, but it was just kind of, that yucky feeling you get when you're kind of like, I can't go home. And then this is the day that Scott got most of his photos in for a big order that he did. And so these are this is a Martha Stewart label, that's another Martha Stewart label, that's another one of Ileana's labels, and then this is a border that Michelle sent me. And it just says the prints are in, and that is Eric Thicker font. So that's the first page. And now I'll show you the insert for this one. So this one is a Becky Higgins Design D page protector, and it would have had another 2 4x6s right here and here to make it be 12 by 12, but I cut those 2 off. And when I do that, I just cut it so that obviously you keep the seam on the ones that you want to keep. And this is my Stampin' Up! Punch. And this is from the Dear Lizzie date stamp, this one. I just used the special day one, but I didn't stamp the date. I just inked up the sentiment part of that one and did it a couple of times. And this is punched from Shoreline Collection from American Crafts. So this is kind of the title for the insert. And these are thickers from my stash, and these ones, actually this O, there were only 2 O's left, and one of the O's was actually ripped from here to here, and the bare cardstock was, the chipboard was showing. And so I just took a piece of black and white twine and just wrapped it around so that it completely covered the exposed cardboard and tied it so that it looks like I kind of did that on purpose as a design element, but it was really just covering a mistake, or not really a mistake, but a flaw in the thickers. And then this is some puffy thickers, and I can't remember the fonts for either of those, but they're really they're old, they're nothing new. And then this is a sticker from the Shoreline Collection. This flip-flop paper, I love this paper. It's also from the Shoreline Collection. These letters that say Fee and Brian are from Cosmo Cricket, and then the @ symbol and the ampersand are both from Making Memories. And you know, it's really hard to find ampersands. Or not ampersands, @ symbols. I really think that somebody should start adding @ symbols to all the thickers. And then I just put the date over and over again there, and I outlined the whole thing in marker. And now, this one, if I can show it all, is just, so most of this insert is just photos. So this one is a photo, and this is actually on the outside. It's a sticker from the Echo Park. I forget the name of that collection, but it's the mini collection that has a beach theme. And then just pictures. That's a picture of Scott doing a cannonball, picture of my niece, picture of my daughter and her and my mother-in-law, and a picture of some of the other kids. And I didn't bother blurring them out because they're wearing like masks and stuff. More pictures of the kids in the pools and swimming and eating corn and stuff. And then this is a picture of my husband and his uncle. And these are Martha Stewart labels, this and this. And then this just says Just Add Water, and it's from the Shoreline Collection. And then I just used my date stamp again there. Then this is where I did my journaling about the day. So I just wrote down my thoughts and ideas about how nice it was to have the pool party. And then these are just layered stickers from the Shoreline Collection. And this is another one of those L Studio circles. And then again, I took that roller stamp, but I only inked up the sentiment, not the date. And I just put remember. So there's that. And now for this one, I also used another Becky Higgins Design C page protector. And so I'll just go by cell. So it's more of early August, and this is our trip to the Buskers. I think everything on this page, yeah, that's right. So it sort of has another title here. It says Staycation, August 9th to 10th. And this is a little trip we took into the city, which is, I mean, it's the city we live in, but we don't live downtown. And so we stayed in a hotel, like we rented a hotel that had a pool so that we could go to the Busker Festival and then have a place to crash and not have to worry about getting home. Like we would have had to have left half an hour before when we wanted the kids to go to bed if we weren't staying at a hotel, because it takes half an hour to drive to where we live. And so so this was just kind of a nice way that we could stay up late and not have to worry about a big long drive and then going to bed. And also the kids could have, like, we ordered room service, and just it was a bit of a treat. And so so anyways, this is an Instagram photo that I printed at, I get a lot of questions about my sizes, so I'm going to try to remember to tell everybody the sizes. So it looks like I printed it at 3x3. It came up a little bit bigger than 3x3. It looks like it's 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. I don't know how I would have done that. But anyways, when I trimmed it, I trimmed it so that it looked like a Polaroid, even though it wasn't. So I just left more white here and less white here and here and here. And then I just used my, again, the stamp from this stamp set, which is a Studio Calico stamp set, to like put nom 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 down there. And First Beaver Tails, a Canadian Rite of Passage. There they are, like chowing down on their beaver tails. They never get sweets, so they're like these huge pastries with sugar all over them. So this is L's Studio, one of those little cutaway tags, or maybe it's not a cutaway. Yeah, it is a cutaway. And then this is from Avalicious. It's a cloud, and they have like noted or date and different things on them, but I covered it up. I just used it as a background piece, just for a layer. And I did some journaling there. And then, and the background paper here is Shoreline, and this background paper is also Shoreline. It's like a really cool neon pink grid with like a white grid. It's really cool. And so these are Instagram pictures of us at this Heart and Thistle restaurant. And I just stapled a little Stampin' Up! Embossed heart there. And then Heart and Thistle lunch, and I just used lunch from that same stamp collection right there. I love those stamps, and I'm really getting a chance to use them. And these Instagrams are printed at 3x3. Yep, 3x3. So, and then this one, I'm actually going to scrapbook this picture, and this one must be 4x4. Hang on. Yeah, 4x4, and that includes a little bit of a border. So I don't know if it's actually 3, and yeah, it must be. I must have printed at 4x4, and it just had a border on it. But that is a picture of my daughter meeting her very favorite busker. She picked her out in the in the program and said, we let the kids each choose their favorite act that they wanted to go see. And then we went and sought them out and saw them. But before we got a chance to see her act, and actually I don't think Sophie ever did get to see her whole act, we were walking just along the waterfront, and she was like pretending to be a statue up here. And when you put money in her bucket, she came to life and would like flirt with you if you were a man, or, you know, whatever. And so, so anyways, Sophie was totally enthralled with this woman. And like every time that we walked past her, Sophie would completely freeze and get all shy and grinny, and like really had, like, she wanted to approach, but she was shy to approach. And so it was just really, really sweet to see her. And she got to know, because we kept walking back and forth, so she got to know her, I think. And she would hold up her hand, and Sophie would do a little twirl, and it was really, really cute. So anyways, I did some journaling about that, and just kind of put the Instagram on here with some washi tape on either side. And I just used this silver grid because I thought it kind of picked up on all the blues and silvers in the picture. And then I wrote Smitten on here with these Studio Calico stamps that came in a kit, and I stamped it totally crooked, as you can see. So I, just to overcome for that, that's not quite grammatically correct, but to compensate for that, I guess, I stamped some little tiny hearts all around it, and that's just from a Lawn Fawn set of stamps that I don't even remember the set. And then I just did my journaling around, and then here's the title for this one. It says Staycation. These are thickers that Kate sent me. I think they're called Darling, and they're really cool, like a matte chipboard in pink. And again, I just took the Smash roller stamp, and I stamped only the sentiment, not the date. And I did it up there too. And then I just put 2 Studio Calico wood veneers, and then more thickers to put the dates. And then here's the bottom ones. So I wanted to kind of create some balance between the blues and the bright pinks. So I put the pinks in opposite corners, and then I made the blues kind of go like that. And this one has enough blues in the picture to kind of balance with the blues in the other cells, if that makes any sense. These are hearts from that same foodie stamp from Studio Calico. And I just did some journaling, and I wrote on the photo there. I specifically composed that photo in Instagram so that this was crisp and this was blurry. And I kept a big amount of the white duvet cover in my photo so that I could do some journaling on it. I don't usually plan that far in advance, but I did this time. These Instagrams are 3x3. And then for this one, I cut a piece, and that's another piece of shoreline paper. For this one, I cut a piece of the shoreline. It's kind of like a brick pattern. And then I used, this is one of the journaling cards from the Becky Higgins Clementine collection. Did my journaling on there. Used some washi tape to attach the photo down. This is an Instagram of the mussels we were eating at the restaurant that night. And then this is another one of these L Studio circular pieces that I got. And I just pop dotted it for something to do. So that's that. And now, oh, no point in putting that back, so I'm just going to show it to you. But this is what this spread looks like. So I used the same kind of layout for the title card with the grid paper that Kate sent me, and then the die cut from my Cameo, and then I just stamped mid using those same Studio Calico letters that I already showed you before. And then this one is about my daily commute, so I snapped a photo while I was stopped in traffic. Don't worry, I was safe this time. And I just wanted to kind of capture the canopy of trees that go over this. This is one of my favorite parts of I actually love my commute, and this is one of my favorite parts of it. And in the fall, it's even more beautiful because this is like a carpet of leaves. It's quite slippery, not very safe for driving, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Everything is like all red and green, red and yellow and brown. It's really, really pretty. Anyways, I used some grid washi tape here and here. And this is another one of those title cards from the Clementine Becky Higgins core kit. And so to just camouflage this date strip, I put a piece of washi tape, that's pink and white polka dot washi tape from Michaels, just down there. And then I stamped the word commute in that Island Indigo ink that I love so much, and kind of did my journaling around it. And then I used this stamp and this stamp. So first I stamped this in Calypso Coral from Stampin' Up, and then I stamped this in VersaFine Black over top of it to get this. And when it was just Calypso Coral, it was much more straight. It's the black one that was a little off, but it does look hand stamped. These are Day of the Week stamps from Fancy Pants, I believe. Then more cards from the Becky Higgins Cobalt collection. This one is another one of those journaling cards that's meant to be folded. I love those. Another Instagram picture of our kids with the trampoline. And I love the little details on these cards. Like, this is documenting the here and now on the side of this card. I love those kind of little details that you don't have to bother adding. So this is literally just journaling and stamping on a card and slap on a picture. That's how easy it is. It's really awesome. This is the Stepping Stone font, and then this is that tiny little font that I showed you already. And then this is just a picture of Scott's bushy hair before he got it cut. He never lets his hair go that long before he gets it cut, so I guess he had the hairdresser take a picture of it for him. This was on his iPhone. When I'm doing Project Life, I scour all of his photos as well as my own. And so here, this is a journaling card from Becky Higgins that says, here's the story. And so I just used a piece of washi tape and I put Hot Mess, and that's again from the Smash Book roller date stamp. And I again didn't stamp the date, and layered it on another piece of washi tape. So this is, they're both Heidi Swap washi tapes that Michelle sent me. So up here, I did journaling about the story behind how our trampoline got fixed, because it was a long story and something that I want to remember. And then this is just kind of like the shaggiest hair that you ever did see, just because that's so funny. He's going to be totally embarrassed about that. So what do? Put it on the internet, of course. This is a picture of the park that I sit at sometimes on my lunch hour at work. And this is a My Mind's Eye journaling tag that came in one of our kits, one of the Studio Calico kits. And I just put a real punched heart, a drawn heart was there, but I just layered over it with a punched heart just to give it a bit more dimension, and then I outlined it with a marker And then it just says about how I love going to the public gardens, and that's just an Instagram photo. You'd think I'd know the sizes of these by now just by eyeballing it, but it looks like this one is 3.5 by 3.5. And then this one was really fun to do. These, I believe these are from Cat Scrappiness, although I have a feeling Allison sent me something similar to this, and I can't remember which. I think Allison sent me balsa wood stars, and these are from, yeah, these are definitely from Cat Scrappiness anyways, because I recognize the little glitter in them. They're really cute. And so just to make them stand out a little bit from the background, which was just a pale blue, I did some messy outlining around it, and I just hold the pen up higher and go really fast to get that kind of outliney, sketchy look. And this is just a picture, an Instagram picture of my kids' Barbies that they left. They didn't clean up their toys, and I came down in the morning to scrapbook, and that's what was looking at me, so I thought it was kind of cute. This is from Elle Studio, and Michelle sent me that, thank you. And then I just used my Dymo label maker to put this title that says Barbie Love, and I doodled around it a little. I didn't do a great job of doodling, but the background paper is Shoreline Collection. So that's that. And then this insert is a 8.5 by 11 page protector from Staples, and it's the kind that's it's got a little bit of a flap on it to hold stuff in, and it's the kind of page protector that's designed to hold up to 20 pages, and so it's kind of thicker and more durable and can hold more. It's a little bit bigger than 8.5 by 11, so you can stick more in it. And this is an Avalicious journaling card. And this is just all part of the card. The only thing that I've added, even the washi tape is part of the card. The only thing that I added was some of those Glitz Designs letters to say contents. And then this is what's in there. There's a family meeting agenda, which is what the front thing is. And then a menu plan made by Scott, a news article about the opening of the Apple Store, and a flower made by Livy, and the Buskers program. So that's what's inside of here. I'm not going to show it all to you, but that's Scott. He was in the newspaper, and that's Sophie. They were at the front among, I think they were number 30 in the line for the grand opening of the Apple Store here. So that was news for us. So that was our bit of excitement for the week. So this is the last part that I have to show to you guys. More of mid-August. It's sort of the second half of mid-August, and this is a Becky Higgins title card, and I just put sleepover at Lorelei's, and that's a picture from Lorelei's mom's Facebook. So it's not a very great quality picture. You can't even, I didn't even blur out Lorelei because you can't even really see her. But you know, like that's what Project Life is all about for me. It's like, you know, just throwing together the stuff that I have to remind me of my life. It doesn't have to be like all awesome photography and great lighting and stuff. Case in point, an empty room. So this is just, I documented how we're instituting a family meeting. It's bi-weekly, and it's pretty formal. Like we have a whiteboard, although mostly just pictures get put on the whiteboard, not text, and we have agendas so that Olivia, who can read, can follow along. We have action plans, and we all have our little things we have to go and do to be part of the family. Mostly it's like to keep Scott and I on track for, like, if the kids want to register in different activities, that we actually don't just, like, we were finding that we were just talking about a lot of stuff but not doing a lot of stuff. And sometimes Scott and I would talk about stuff, but the kids, like, we would talk about putting the kids in gymnastics, but then we wouldn't tell the kids, and then the kids would be like not knowing what was going on. And so we just thought that we would, and so we have like a list that we collect for 2 weeks. It's on the garage door, and every time that somebody thinks of something that they want to talk about at the meeting, they put it on the list, and then I make an agenda and we do kind of family meeting. After we're done, and the family meeting is really, really quick. It sounds like it's more time to set it up than it is to actually do it. And then afterwards, we play board games, and a different person picks which board game we play each week. And so I thought I'd just kind of document that. I just put some washi tape across the back, and these are Tim and Beck letters from a Studio Calico kit from before. And this is a Becky Higgins journaling card. There's lots of Becky Higgins in this because I got my kit. This is just one of those filler cards from Kimberly Khalil, who I talked about last time. And then this is just a picture of one of our neighbors had a glamour party, and I just used one of those clouds to do some journaling on it and put some washi tape and a little Stampin' Up! Punched heart there. And then I just decided to document about my sister-in-law's laptop got wet, and they tried to fix it by soaking it in rice, but then rice got inside of the laptop and it was like a big ordeal. And so anyways, she ended up having to get a new computer. And I did some extra journaling just around the peripheral of the picture. And then this is Pancake People, pretty self-explanatory, peaches and pancakes. Scott makes them into people. And this is a Becky Higgins journaling card. And these are Sassafras letter stickers that I love. Then, finally almost done. I think I'm coming down with a cold, if you can tell from my breathing. These are two 2x3 photos of a recent layout that I did. I snapped a picture of Maya laying in the middle of all my stuff, and then I also took a picture of the layout when it was done. And so I put this little arrow here, and I think I've mentioned to you guys how disappointed I am that Becky Higgins isn't including arrows anymore. And so I went through my stash. I knew I had one of these. This is a Sizzix Stampin' Up! Curves Ahead Sizzlet, and it punches out it cuts out two curved arrows, and that's one of them. And I just kind of did up a couple of them in advance for other things that I'm going to be working on. And then that's what the smaller one ends up looking like. So I thought those would be good to fill in. This is from Cat Scrappiness. Thank you, Cat. These are balsa wood scissors, and I thought they were good for a scrapbooking layout. And then I just put sassafras letter stickers to say Maya, and then these are Lily Bee Designs letter stickers to say Maya, and then how am I supposed to get any work done? And it's all on a Becky Higgins journaling card, of course. And then this one is on a Becky Higgins title card, and this is a journaling card that Michelle sent me. It's actually a Becky Higgins card that she stamped on, and I think these are Allie Edwards stamps. And I just kind of doodled around it to make it stand out a little bit. Put the Instagram in here, used my label maker to put Scott Makes the Best Fruit Smoothies, wrapped some yellow and white twine that Kate gave me, and then this is one of those labels from Ileana layered over top of a jelly bean journaling sprout. Jelly bean soup journaling sprout. So there. So that is my project life. How long is that? 30 minutes. Okay. I'm not going to apologize because you guys have asked me not to apologize, so I'm not gonna. But before I go, I just want to say that one thing that I've been doing is I've been on the free printable. This is actually not a free printable. This is from Studio Calico. I actually paid for this printable. But I've been on the printable bandwagon, and but having some trouble printing on my printer because I only have a small printer that prints 4x6 photos that's high quality, and then I have a color laser printer upstairs, and it really will not take cardstock very well. And so what I've been doing, and also the ink is really expensive, and I was thinking that like it's $200 to refill the ink, and I was thinking like these are not turning out to be free printables at all. Because they were costing me like 50 cents a page and stuff for just ink and paper and stuff, and then I would be printing and there would be a lot of misfeeds and there was frustration galore and all that kind of stuff. So what I've been doing with the Kimberly Khalil journaling cards that I talked about last time, and also these Studio Calico printables, is I've been sending them to the Copy and Print Center at Staples. And it's really cheap. I don't know how much, but it's really cheap, and they print them in usually within an hour. They're done. Usually within like 5 or 10 minutes they're done, and they're just beautiful quality. And so now I can take my circle punches and punch out all these shapes and use my trimmer to cut these out and stuff. And it's just a really nice high quality, like it looks like it's manufactured, right? So I'm really, really happy with it. And I think if I were to factor in the cost of printing stuff at home on either a photo printer with photo paper or really high quality paper, or on my laser printer, my color laser printer, I think that this is, I'm almost positive that this is quite a bit less. So just wanted to let you guys know that there are other options out there for getting your printables. I mean, I know they're not free anymore, but they never were free. Like if you're printing them up, you are spending money on the ink and on the paper and stuff. And so I think, you know, for me anyways, this is a really good solution because it's really convenient, and we're often around the Staples anyways, and it just goes to our local store. You can pick what store you send it to. So if you work close to one or live close to one or whatever, you can send it to whatever store, a different store every time if you want. And the other thing is that they save your documents for you. So if I wanted to print more of these, which I did actually because these are last month's, and they already had them in there for me because I had printed these last month. So when I got this month, I just added a couple more of these because I thought I might like them for Project Life. So just a little tip.